The Army Warrant Officer is a technical expert, combat leader, trainer, and advisor. Through progressive levels of expertise in assignments, training, and education, the Warrant Officer administers, manages, maintains, operates, and integrates Army systems and equipment across unified land operations. Warrant Officers are innovative integrators of emerging technologies, dynamic teachers, confident warfighters, and developers of specialized teams of soldiers. They support a wide range of Army missions throughout their career. Warrant Officers in the Army are assessed with specific levels of technical ability. They refine their technical expertise and develop their leadership and management skills through tiered progressive assignment and education. Warrant Officer candidates are assessed according to the needs of the Army and their possession of specific levels of technical skills. After being selected for Warrant Officer training, they must then complete the Warrant Officer Candidate School known as WOCS at the Warrant Officer Career College, Fort Novosel, Alabama.
Warrant Officer Candidate School is a 5-week course where we continue to assess each candidate on their leadership abilities and competencies. Warrant Officer Candidate School focuses on leader development, and candidates serve in various student leadership positions throughout the course and will receive feedback on their performance.
During their WOCS training, faculty and staff members assess each candidate's mental capacity, emotional strength, and physical stamina to determine if they can meet and maintain the stringent standards necessary for them to effectively serve with dynamic operating environments in which the Army performs its missions.
Being a warrant officer means being knowledgeable in your field. It means being a leader of moral and ethical character. It means being a part of something bigger than yourself. It means being a member of a team.
The United States Army Warrant Officer Candidate School provides qualified military personnel an opportunity to become Army Warrant Officers in continued service to the nation and our Army. To qualify, applicants must meet specific mental, moral, and physical requirements to serve as an Army Warrant Officer.
Upon completion of Warrant Officer Candidate School, graduates will have gained a new level of confidence in their leadership abilities. They have learned to adapt to austere environments through mental agility, problem-solving skills, and teamwork.
WOCS teaches candidates the fundamentals of leadership and how to be a leader of character. Candidates are taught to lead by personal example and to consistently serve as role models. When soldiers arrive to WOCS, they must be physically and mentally prepared. One of the key aspects of being here is learning how to be resilient. This school focuses on making leaders of character and intellect.
A warrant officer is a multifunctional professional and is prepared to provide guidance and technical expertise to ensure the mission is accomplished. Warrant Officer Candidate School lays the foundations for new warrant officers, preparing them for the operational environment. WOCS affords the candidate the ability to hone their skills by building on their knowledge and previous experiences through leadership development and assessments.
Warrant officers are technical and tactical experts in their duty assignments, possessing a high degree of specialization, knowledge, and skill. They command maritime vessels, special units, and tasked organizational operational elements. There are no plateaus during this course. Candidates are being assessed on their performance from the minute they start to the day they graduate.
Warrant Officer Candidate School provides candidates with a leadership foundation to build upon and assist their potential as company-grade officers.
Warrant Officer Candidate School will last 5 to 7 weeks depending on individual qualifications and status. Training focuses on leadership development, the history of warrant officers, and their role in the Army operational environment. Candidates will participate in field exercises while attending the candidate school, as well as daily physical readiness training to include marches up to a distance of 10 kilometers or 6.2 miles. Upon completion of the candidate school, graduates are appointed as an officer in the United States Army at the grade of Warrant Officer 1. A select few graduates will earn special recognition and honors. Graduates then progress to the Warrant Officer Basic course at various Army installations depending on their specialty and branch. Locations for duty after completion of the basic course can include Army assignments both in the United States and overseas.
At First Warrant Officer Company, we take great pride in training, educating, and equipping candidates to become warrant officers within all 3 components of the Army. Upon graduation from Warrant Officer Candidate School, candidates are expected to be the Army's premier land force technical experts and system integrators. These newly appointed warrant officers will be prepared to succeed as technical experts and trusted advisors.
All warrant officers have the opportunity to progress in rank and responsibilities through promotion and additional career paths. Warrant officers make up the technical foundation of the United States Army. They hold a great deal of responsibility that includes leading and training soldiers, organizing and advising missions, integrating, maintaining, and operating complex Army systems. They're the horsepower behind the organization, the leaders that commanders rely on to ensure mission success. Talk to your career counselor or an Army in-service recruiter about taking your skills to the next level. Highly specialized and highly committed, the Warrant Officer Candidate School of Fort Novosel, Alabama. The Army Warrant Officer is a technical expert.
Good morning, Colonel McHugh, Mr. Valentine, CW5 Napoli, CW5 Godwin, CW5 Canals, CW5 Lucy, distinguished guests, senior warrant officers, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of our Commandant, Colonel Kevin E. McHugh, welcome to the appointment and graduation ceremony for Warrant Officer Candidate Class 2505, the Red Snappers. Following the remarks this morning, the company commander, CW4 DeCasher J. Bennett, will administer the oath of office. Once the oath is complete, each member of the class is a warrant officer. The only remaining event is the pinning of the warrant officer rank. Family members and guests are invited to assist in this part of the ceremony. As your soldier's name is called, please feel free to come forward to conduct the pinning. At any time during the ceremony, you may come forward to take photographs. Please be mindful of other guests. Do not block their view and promptly return to your seats. Please stand for the entrance of the official party, the invocation, and the playing of the national anthem.
Will you please pray with me according to your faith? Let us pray. Almighty God, we gather in your presence to celebrate these warrant officer graduates. Bless them as they step into leadership, granting them strength, wisdom, and courage to face new challenges. Thank you for their dedication and for the support of those who stood by them. May they serve with honor, inspiring others and upholding the values of duty, respect, and selfless service. Protect them, Lord, as they walk confidently in their calling, mindful of the oath they've sworn and the freedom they defend. In your name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Hicks. Please be seated. is indeed a privilege to be associated with this outstanding group of soldiers. Warrant Officer Candidate School is a challenging 5-week course where we test each candidate to ensure they meet the moral, mental, and physical requirements to become warrant officers. Regardless of the environment, character, competence, and commitment form the foundation of successful leaders. Honor, discipline, and a conviction to adhere to a higher standard are but of a few of the qualities society expects from every military officer. These graduates have demonstrated that they possess these qualities. This class has excelled in many endeavors while at the 1st Warrant Officer Company. The Red Snappers are graduating with a final class average of 93%. The Red Snappers also earned the following Guide-On Streamer, Outstanding Sign. The Red Snappers are graduating with a total class of 91 Warrant Officer candidates, comprised of the following: 66 technicians, 25 Aviation Warrant Officer candidates, which includes 67 regular Army, 11 National Guard, and 11 Army Reserve. The Red Snappers civilian education includes the following: 6 master degrees, 21 bachelor degrees, and 24 associate degrees. The average age in this class is 31 years old, with the candidate as young as 19 years old and the oldest candidate as old as 50 years old. Allow me to introduce the team responsible for training the Red Snappers. The Senior TAC Officer, Chief Warrant Officer 3C Fuentes. The Primary TAC Officer, Chief Warrant Officer 3 Vineyard. The TAC Team, Chief Warrant Officer 3 Gambio and Chief Warrant Officer 3 Paulino. The Company First Sergeant Smith, and the Warrant Officer Candidate School Course Director, Chief Warrant Officer 3 Henry. Please join me in a round of applause for this outstanding team. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce today's guest speaker, Chief Warrant Officer 5, David P. Lucy. Chief Warrant Officer 5 Lucy commenced his military journey in 1998, serving as a 31 Fox network system operator maintainer. Rising through the ranks, he was appointed to Warrant Officer 1 in 2004. Upon completing the Warrant Officer Basic Course, he was awarded the 250 November Network Management Technician Military Occupational Specialty MOS. Throughout his tenure as a Network Management Technician, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Lucy has demonstrated his leadership in every level of command. Some of those key assignments includes the following: Network Management Technician at Fort Drum, New York, S3 Network Operations and Plans OIC in Naples, Italy, Senior Network Management Technician in Wiesbaden, Germany, Network Infrastructure Service Specialist for the Cyber National Mission Force, Senior Technical Advisor for the Cyber Protection Brigade, Senior Warrant Officer for the Army Joint Forces Headquarters Cyber, Command Chief Warrant Officer for the Cyber Protection Brigade, and Warrant Officer Division Chief for Cyber Proponent. Chief Warrant Officer 5 Lucy currently serves as the Chief Warrant Officer CCWO for the Cyber Center of Excellence. Chief Warrant Officer 5 Lucy holds a Master in Cybersecurity, a Master's in Network Engineering, and a Doctor of Science in Cyber Operations. With over 27 years of dedicated service, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Lucy has earned numerous awards and decorations and has completed all levels of his professional military education. His full biography can be found in today's program. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Chief Warrant Officer 5, David P. Lucy.
All right, first thing we need to do is cut out all those years in that bio. That's just, wow. Okay, good morning, everyone. I did promise the class that we wouldn't go past 30 minutes, so if somebody could give me the hook sign when we reach 25, it'd be okay. Appreciate that. Now, seriously, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, distinguished guests, welcome. Graduates, I got a question for you to think about for the next few minutes.
What is a warrant officer? Now, while you think about that, I'll tell you a little story. When I was a younger warrant, I think it was my first deployment as, it was my first deployment as a warrant officer. I went on a pre-deployment site survey with my battalion and brigade commanders. At the time, it was my job to evaluate the communications situation and provide insight to the new communications equipment we had just been provided. So I started pouring through wire diagrams, reading technical manuals, doing my analysis, and at the end of the PDSS, the brigade commander asked me during the staff report to provide my analysis. I started by letting the commander know that the new equipment we had just gotten wasn't good enough and that we needed to purchase additional equipment. When he asked why, I started explaining latency, delays of satellites, bandwidth, transmission limitations, encryption requirements, etc. When I was done, the brigade commander looked at me and said, "Warrant Officer Lucy, not a thing you just said tells me why my brand new equipment is not good enough and why I can't win with it." That took me by surprise, so I had to step back for a minute and think about it. I decided to say, "Sir, the current equipment and systems will cause communication delays, preventing you from receiving information, making decisions, and issuing guidance in a timely manner that outpaces the adversary." He looked at me and said, "Why the heck didn't you just say that in the first place?" The point is, as warrant officers, we need to be able to communicate complex technical information in a way that's easy for non-technical people to understand. We need to be able to explain things in a way that's clear, concise, and free of technical jargon. You will walk out of here, warrant officers, today, and I want to remind you of the essential principles that will guide you throughout your careers. First and foremost, learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. As warrant officers, we encounter uncertain and dynamic environments where the only constant is change. You must be willing to adapt, pivot, and lead from the front, even when the situation is unclear. Remember, discomfort is not a sign of weakness, but rather an opportunity for growth and learning. The Army doesn't need you to be comfortable, it needs you to get the job done. Second, learn theory and integration. Your technical expertise is the foundation upon which your leadership is built. Understand the underlying principles, the why behind the what, and be able to apply that knowledge in innovative and effective ways. Integration is the key. Be able to connect the dots between different systems, processes, and disciplines to create cohesive and comprehensive solutions. Don't just focus on your specific MOS or particular system. Understand how it fits into the larger picture and how you can use that knowledge to drive success. Third, strive for adaptability. The modern battlefield is characterized by speed, uncertainty, and complexity. You must be able to think on your feet, to adjust to changing circumstances, and to lead your teams with agility and flexibility. Be open to new ideas, new technologies, and new ways of doing things, and be willing to challenge the status quo when necessary. The Army is not a static organization. It's a dynamic, evolving force that requires leaders who can adapt and thrive in rapidly changing environments. And finally, support forces are now maneuver forces. Gone are the days when support units were seen as merely supporting the fight. Today, every unit is a maneuver unit, and every soldier is a maneuver warrior. As warrant officers, you must understand that your role is not just to provide support, but to drive the fight forward, to create opportunities and seize the initiative. Whether you're in the traditional support MOS or not, you have the power to shape the battlefield and drive successes. Don't just focus on your specific task. Think about how your skills and expertise to drive maneuver and achieve strategic objectives. Commanders at all levels will be depending on you as warrant officers to provide them the unedited truth to any situation. If something can't or shouldn't be done, you need to have the courage to speak up and explain why. Likewise, if you don't know the solution, keep your integrity and be upfront that you don't know. Then find the solution. Leaders trust you to be straight with them. You cannot lose that trust. Remember, trust takes years to build, seconds to lose, and forever to repair. If it's lost, it's not easily found again, and if it is found, it's never the same. Now, has your answer to what a warrant officer is changed at all? This is interactive. You can nod or shake your head. Okay, all right. In closing, I offer you these final thoughts. Your journey as warrant officers has just begun, and it will be marked by challenges, setbacks, and triumphs. But if you remember to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, to master theory and integration, to strive for adaptability, and to recognize that support forces are now maneuver forces, you'll be well equipped to succeed in this ever-changing world. Congratulations on your graduation from WOCS. Forge and project power. Be all you can be.
On behalf of Class 25-05 and the First Warrant Officer Company, the Leadership Awardee is presenting the guest speaker with a token of appreciation.
Class 25-05, on your feet.
The oath of office is the most significant event of this graduation ceremony. The candidates have worked very hard to reach this moment. The American people have put their faith and trust into these soon-to-be warrant officers. The candidates are swearing or affirming their true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States. I ask all service members in uniform, please stand for the oath of office.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name. Have been appointed an officer. In the United States. Grade of Warrant Officer 1. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation. Or purpose of evasion. And I will well and faithfully. Discharge the duties. Of the office. Which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Ladies and gentlemen, the Army's newest warrant officers. I don't think they're excited about being the Army's newest warrant officers, so let's try this again with a nice smile. Ladies and gentlemen, the Army's newest warrant officers.
Please be seated. The Distinguished Honor Graduate Award is named after CW3 retired Doris Allen, a warrant officer who has set herself apart by making significant contributions to our nation and her community. Her biography can be found in today's program. The recipient of this award is Warrant Officer Wiley M. Burnett, with a final course average of 98%. Warrant Officer Burnett is receiving a Warrant Officer Career College Certificate of Achievement from the guest speaker, CW5 Lucy. He is also being recognized with a plaque by the company commander, CW4 Bennett. Finally, Warrant Officer Burnett will receive a plaque and a $100 check from the Military Officer Association of America presented by CW5 retired Randy Godfrey. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Honor graduates must achieve an overall average within the top 5% for academic honors in Warrant Officer Candidate School. The following warrant officers are honor graduates: Warrant Officer Brandon Luke, Warrant Officer Kelsey Keeling, Warrant Officer Sloan Reed, and Warrant Officer Philip Taylor. Warrant Officer Luke, Warrant Officer Reed, Warrant Officer Keeling, and Warrant Officer Taylor are receiving a Certificate of Achievement from the Primary TAC Officer, CW3 Vineyard. The Company Commander, CW4 Bennett. The Primary TAC Officer, CW3 Vineyard. And the Course Director, CW3 Henry. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. To achieve Commandant's List within Warrant Officer Candidate School, graduates must achieve an overall average within the top 20% for academic honors. The following warrant officers on the Commandant's List are Warrant Officer Ferris Abuadra, Warrant Officer Darcy Becci, Warrant Officer Lawrence Bryant, Warrant Officer Rylan Crawford, Warrant Officer Fath Bruckner, Warrant Officer Spencer Jones, and Warrant Officer Benjamin Kelleher. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. The following warrant officers also on the Commandant's list are Warrant Officer Damian Ladd, Warrant Officer Michaela Mayfield, Warrant Officer Keegan Murphy, Warrant Officer Gregory Prosky, Warrant Officer Nathan Rentschler, and Warrant Officer Brian Vayu. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. The Iron Warrant Award is given to the warrant officer who has the highest overall average on all performance evaluations during the course. The Iron Warrant Award is named after medically retired warrant officer Anthony Radatic, a warrant officer who has persevered in the face of adversity. His biography can be found in today's program. The recipient of this award is Warrant Officer Nicholas J. Rodriguez. Warrant Officer Rodriguez is receiving a Warrant Officer Career College Certificate of Achievement from the Primary TAC Officer, CW3 Vineyard. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. The leadership awardee was identified by his peers. Through his exceptional leadership and unique attributes, he encouraged personal growth and professional development. The leadership award is named after CW4 retired William Roof, a warrant officer who was deeply inspirational and innovative. His biography can be found in today's program. The recipient of this award is Warrant Officer Robert W. Medley. Warrant Officer Medley is receiving a Warrant Officer Career College Certificate of Achievement from the Company Commander, CW4 Bennett. He is also being recognized with a plaque by the guest speaker, CW5 Lucy. Additionally, Warrant Officer Medley will receive a plaque and a $100 check from the Military Officer Association of America, presented by CW5 retired Randy Godfrey. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Please join me in a round of applause for these outstanding warrant officers. The remainder of the class will receive their Warrant Officer 1 rank in alphabetical order. Please hold all applause. Warrant Officer Andrews, Warrant Officer Baldwin, Warrant Officer Ballard, Warrant Officer Berry, Warrant Officer Blunt, Warrant Officer Bonilla, and Warrant Officer Brown. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Butler, Warrant Officer Calderon, Warrant Officer Cow, Warrant Officer Chapman, Warrant Officer Cisneros, Warrant Officer Cole, and Warrant Officer Connor. Step it up. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Davis, Warrant Officer De La Cruz, Warrant Officer Dyer, Warrant Officer Garcia, Warrant Officer Gilbertson, Warrant Officer Gold, and Warrant Officer Goldenberg. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Gonzalez, Warrant Officer Guilla, Warrant Officer Hernandez, Warrant Officer Higgins, Warrant Officer Hopkins, Warrant Officer Johnson Elijah, and Warrant Officer Johnson Zachary. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Josu, Warrant Officer Kesey, Warrant Officer Ketchman, Warrant Officer Laright, Warrant Officer Lopez, Warrant Officer Markham, and Warrant Officer McCall. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer McNeil, Warrant Officer Melendez, Warrant Officer Melgal Torres, Warrant Officer Morel, Warrant Officer Moten, Warrant Officer Neighbors, and Warrant Officer Ojeda. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Olive. Warrant Officer Pardue. Warrant Officer Perez. Warrant Officer Prufer. Warrant Officer Puentes. Warrant Officer Ray. And Warrant Officer Rivera Padin. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Roberts. Excuse me. Warrant Officer Rodriguez Wright. Warrant Officer Ruiz. Warrant Officer Salinas Gutierrez. Warrant Officer Sauls. Warrant Officer Sawyer. And Warrant Officer Sendejas. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Small. Warrant Officer St. Germain. Warrant Officer Zaliga. Warrant Officer Urizal. Warrant Officer Vasquez Sanchez. Warrant Officer Vilalman. And Warrant Officer Wagner. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Warpinski. Warrant Officer Worthen. Warrant Officer Webster. Warrant Officer White. Warrant Officer Wilson. Warrant Officer Wolfenden. Warrant Officer Young. And Warrant Officer Zavala. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Please join me in a round of applause for these outstanding warrant officers. Class 25-05, on your feet. At this time, I ask that all soldiers, past and present, please stand and join us in reciting the Soldier's Creed and remain standing for the playing of the Army song. Red Snappers, before you are dismissed for the final time, remember the warrior ethos is deeply rooted in the Soldier's Creed, which states,
I am an American soldier. I am a warrior member of the team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values. I will always place a mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough, trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills. I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I am an expert and I am a professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat. I am guarding freedom and the American way of life. I am an American soldier.
The primary TAC officer, CW3 Vineyard, will dismiss the class to conclude today's ceremony.
To my newest fellow officers, common sense will get you out of a lot of situations. You know what won't get you out of situations? Lying, operating in the gray area. They may temporarily get you out of that situation, but it'll always come back and bite you. Anyway, you got a lot of people in this auditorium today. Friends, family, teammates, and supporters. So just remember, stay true to them, stay true to your country, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. Dismiss.